Necessity is the mother of invention. The primary driving force for most new invention is a need. Some invent in order to meet basic human needs. Others invent to fulfill their own creative desires. Many inventions are inspired by social or economic reasons, by the desire to make life easier and more comfortable, or by the need to make money. A pleasant afternoon, everyone. My name is Wilson P. Raña,
Carl Joshua DeVera,
Dawson J. Flores.
and we are the team
El Guapo. We reviewed the study entitled Efficient Water Wheel Garbage Collector from the students of Negros Oriental State University on June 2018. The researchers are Chito S. Briones Amadeo, Jan N. Caballero, Alfie T. Dael, Kit Hadron P. Garzola, Jumar L. Inkig, Carl Jan B. Torimoca. What kind of research was done? According to the two types of research discussed last meeting, the type of study picked by our group falls to the type of research which is applied or experimental. How can we say that the research is experimental or applied? It is applied in a way that the real-life problem being analyzed is about to be solved. The main problem in this research was the waste that are thrown mainly on running water, that will pollute the water and will cause imbalance in marine life. The need that arises from this problem was able to make the research more suitable and efficient as it is. The study that was conducted also uses scientific methods that was able to improve human conditions and at least minimize the effort exerted by humans. There's a threat waiting for a particular person to go through some bodies of water while cleaning. That's why the researchers look for ways on how to make it a lot easier for humans to just collect the waste from the surface of the water using the device. The method of research used in this study is quantitative. How can we say that it is a quantitative research? Quantitative in a way that the researchers compute data from the results of how their device will function by which they conducted through testing. A statistical process also takes place in this study by how the data is being computed, which will make sure that all the data gathered are efficient.
Nowadays, the environment problem arises in many towns in the Philippines. These problems come along with by developing activities such as construction of houses, offices, and other business areas. The environment problem occur due to several reasons: low budget allocation on environmental management and lack of discipline in garbage disposal. The environment issue which come up from year to year and still cannot be solved is about garbage and waste various places. The garbage could clog water flow, becoming dirty, smelly, and often overflow, causing floods. Not all waste disposed were transported in landfill. Most are dumped in the rivers. This river passes through many villages which have poor sanitary conditions in general. During the rainy season, this river often overflows and causes flood. The researchers are trying to collect floating garbages like polythene, food material, and other waste occur due to human negligence in disposing such materials. Now let's talk about the method to address the problem. The researchers conduct an experiment to address the problem. The main focus is to clean the garbage in the rivers and to minimize the human efforts required to clean this garbage. A boat will be attached by a conveyor and a water wheel placed on the shaft and bearing support. This boat will be anchored in rivers facing directly towards the current of the wheel. Due to the current, the water wheel turns. Power is transmitted to the conveyor system by means of a belt drive and pulley mounted on the shaft. As the conveyor moves, it collects the water debris, waste garbage, and plastic from rivers. The garbage collected by the conveyor will be put in the plastic box located at the rear view of the boat. When the box is full, the garbage will be collected manually. As you can see, the trapper will drop the floating waste material in the river. The trapper will narrow down the way in order to place the waste into the conveyor. The current of the river will make the water wheel turn. Power is transmitted to the conveyor system by means of a belt drive and a pulley mounted on the shaft. The lifter attached on the conveyor belt will help to collect the waste materials, and all the collected waste will be placed on the box on the rear view of the boat, and it will be collected manually.
What are the results solving the problem? The prototype was done therefore test was conducted in a small river located at Malabo, Valencia, Negros Oriental to find out whether the design project is functional or not. These are the data of the different speed and RPM during the actual test. The table shows the different data for every specific speed of the water in relation to the RPM of the water wheel and speed of the conveyor belt of the prototype of the project. So how they come up with these following results? First, they measure the current of the water manually by calculating the time it takes for a very light plastic material to reach a distance of 1 meter. Second, they calculate the RPM of the water wheel by using the formula RPM is equals to B over R, where B is the velocity of the current multiplied by 20% efficiency, and that is according to Mr. Trash Wheel Snow 2017, and R for radius. To calculate the conveyor belt speed, they do it manually by calculating the time it takes to travel a lifter over a distance of 12 cm, since the total length for the conveyor is equal to 12 cm. It is shown that whenever the current speed is passed, the RPM and the belt speed is also passed. And when the current is low, the speed of the conveyor belt and the RPM of the water wheel is also low. And as you can see, the velocity of the current of 2.1 meter per second have a RPM of the water wheel of 1.21 revolution per second and conveyor belt speed of 0.02 meter per second, and so on. This suggests that for the better performance, the current of the water should be considered in designing the actual project. The approach of the study was experimental testing of the prototype and hand calculation. It was tested in a small river located at Malabo, Valencia, Negros Oriental, considering the core requirements for the design that the device should float in either seawater and fresh water. The design should also be waterproof because logically the device is performing in water, and the prototype should work specifically the conveyor belt, for it is the main function of the design project to collect garbage using the conveyor steam.
996, alam mo na kapag naririnig mo to, nasa kabilang banda kami nang hinahanap mo. Pamparam pam pam, pamparam param pam, sumabay lang sa bayo, sarap sa pakiramdam. Pamparam pam pam, pamparam param pam, nagawa namin ito habang bilog din ang buwan, mga buwan.
Yun, tapos na kayo?
Tapos na.
Salamat, may hina ako. Sorry. Sorry po.
Last nyo.
Love you, man.
Yeah.
Saan tayo dito?